I'm back again making another appetizer using Kraft Philadelphia cream cheese. I'd like to thank Kraft and Paula Deen, and tonight I'm going to be making a big cream cheese pizza appetizer. Little bites, serve them as appetizer. And I start with pizza crust. So I open up my pizza crust. I also turn on the oven to 400 degrees because I'm going to bake this little pizza for 13 to 17 minutes. So I get my pizza crust out here and I put it on my pan. I just happened to get a pan out that was exactly the right size for this. So I'm going to open it up and spread it out in this pan, which is the perfect size for this little pizza crust. And you just work with it to make it, the right size of the pan, and spread it out. Make sure it's all spread out. And the first thing I did was, this is the time of season there isn't any fresh figs, is what I like to use in this little pizza. So I had to get some dried figs, and they're a little dry for this recipe. So what I'm doing is I bought some, just a bottle of it's a cheap wine, it's a sweet red wine, just something to get some liquid into it, and I'm soaking my figs. I cut them into little pieces and I'm soaking them just to get them a little more moist. And I don't even drink, but it's just a little bit and it just moistens it up in your recipe. So what I've done here, if you'll come around here and look, I'm mixing these ingredients together. I'm using Philadelphia cream cheese, and I used a spreadable goat cheese. I used some honey and some cinnamon. And I mixed them up in the blender, and this is what I came up with. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to spread it on the pie, the pizza crust, all the way. I'm going to use this whole thing and just spread it on here. Just takes a second to do this. Okay, when I've got that all spread on, I move on to my next ingredient, which is a fig jam. And I got a fig and orange jam, and I think I used about 5 ounces. I put it in a bowl, and it was a little hard, so I put it in the microwave. I popped it in there for a second. I've got a brush, and I'm just going to brush this on. Brush it on my pizza here, and my photographer should be up close on this pizza now, showing what I'm doing. My photographer is my helper Noah, and he's 10 years old, and he's very interested in photography, videography, so he volunteered to help me, and I'm just giving him a little coaching along the way tonight. So I'm going to add all of that fig jam on there. Then I chopped up some fresh spinach, and I'm going to put that on, and I'm going to try to be a single layer, because these are going to be cut up in little bites, and you want every little bite to have every ingredient in it. So you just spread it out. Then I go to my figs, and I pull them up out of that liquid. You don't want that dripping, but I spread out the figs to about every bite, getting a fig on there. All the way over this whole pizza. Kind of spread it out. That's what I do. Just enough to everybody gets a bite of fig. You're going to want a bite of that fig. It's really delicious. Okay, we do that, and then we move on to our next ingredient, which is pine nuts. And I just sprinkle some pine nuts on here, all over, so every bite will have some pine nuts. Okay, and then next I'm going going to move to my goat cheese. And I've cut it up. Goat cheese is a little sticky, so it's kind of, you know, a little hard to work with. You just have to, I'm just putting a little blob of it all over this pizza. And then, when I get through with that, I'm going to add on top of it mozzarella cheese. So I just put some mozzarella cheese all over it. Get that all incorporated. And my last ingredient here is a little orange zest. I want to bring out a little more orange since that's in my big jam. And I got a blood orange, and you know, you just go like this all over. Don't go too deep. And it comes up here. And what I like to do is put a little tiny bit on the goat cheese. And that will really give, that will really pop in your mouth. That little tangy bit of orange. So I just cover all of that. And then you pop it in the oven for 400 degrees for 13 to 17 minutes. But I'm not going to do that right now. You're going to follow me, and I've already done one. So if you come over here, you'll see I already made one up. It's out of the oven. I already tasted it. And I also have some edible flowers. So if I was having some people over and having hors d'oeuvres, little appetizers, I would put my little flowers on to dress it up. My edible flowers, I just got those at the grocery store. I fix it all up on here, and it turns out really beautiful. And then I'm going to take another little piece here of my pizza, and I'm going to taste it. Delicious. I've got our book here, The Wind in the Willows. That's the one we're reading tonight. I've got children over there. They're having their cookies and milk before bedtime. And I'd like to thank Noah. He did a good job helping me. And thank you.